Hey guys, welcome back. This video I'm going to share with you my top 5 games of 2011. Now, before we start with this, I do want to say that I'm not GameSpot, I'm not IGN. I can't get every game that's out there. I don't get them sent to me, so I can't review everything that's out there. So there will be games that are left off this list. Of course, if I bought Arkham City, that would be a contender for this list. If I got Uncharted 3, which I don't have any of the Uncharteds, I'm hoping this Christmas there might be something under the tree to, fix that. But if not, then after Christmas I'll be picking up the Uncharteds. And there's certain games I haven't played. I haven't played Disgaea 4, so obviously that's not in contention. I haven't played Rune Factory, Tides of Destiny. So while there's a lot of games out there released for 2011, I can't get everything. So of the games, the new games that I purchased this year, I tried to do a top 10 and realized that I'd be kind of I didn't really buy a lot of new games this year. I kind of went retro this year a lot. So just the games that released in 2011, I'm going to just do a top 5. If I had played some of the other games like Uncharted 3 and Arkham City, of course, then I'd be able to make a much more complete list. But as it is, I feel pretty strong with this top 5. I think this would be the top 5 anyway if I made a top 10 video. So let's just skip 10 through 6 and go straight to number 5. And for me, this year, the number 5 game is Radiant Historia. A fantastic RPG for the DS. Time travel is something that I think video games can really do well. There's a lot of sort of non-linearity to it that I think, whenever I play like a Grand Theft Auto or like an Elder Scrolls game, and you have these sort of ideas of choice and how it changes the world, it makes me think of, when will they make an open world time travel game? And, is that really even possible? And this game really feels, like the closest thing that we can get to that type of game. It kind of falls in line a little bit with my idea of how sort of reality works anyway, in that any choice you can make has already been mapped out, and really while you still have the decision, the choice between point A or point B, when you choose either A or B, that branch is already planned out for you. And that's kind of how the time travel works in this game. It splits off into 2 different timelines, and you kind of jump back and forth between the 2 until you reconcile the timelines. But, the storyline is pretty fantastic. The graphics are amazing. The battle system. This is one of the best battle systems in an RPG ever. When people talk about best battle systems in RPGs, they usually talk about Grandia. I really enjoyed this one. I don't know if I kind of enjoyed this one more than I enjoyed Grandia 1's battle system. And it combines like a traditional RPG battle system with like a puzzle game to sort of rack up your combos and stuff. But, this was kind of I think this was a limited release. I don't think they, are putting out a lot of these. So it might be a little bit difficult for you guys to get this game if you didn't pick it up on launch like I did. But definitely seek it out because it's one of the best RPGs, definitely of this year. And I would put in contention for one of the best RPGs of all time. So, Radiant Historia, number 5. Oh, the music to that is amazing as well. Really, when you listen to the music, there's really not a bad track on that game. So now, number 4. We have Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky. A lot of people have talked about this game, and it's been getting a lot of buzz. And for due cause. I mean, this is a fantastic RPG on the PSP. Falcom, Exceed, how can you go wrong there? I'm really hoping that people will start picking this up more, or maybe just starting to buy Xseed games more, because this is the first part of a trilogy, and it's kind of sounding like the second part of the trilogy getting released over here in the States is kind of on thin ice. So hopefully Xseed gets some money here with some of their recent games, and they're able to put some resources towards second chapter, because I really want to see what happens to Estelle and Joshua next. Characterization is very important in RPGs, and I feel like in this game, these two characters, I actually really do care about what happens to them, especially, it's very light and funny during most of the game, but then towards the end it gets a little bit more serious. And once it gets a little bit more serious, I really start to feel for these two and really want to see what happens to them next. It's a 50-hour RPG, so, don't go into this lightly, because it will eat up a lot of your time. But it is a fantastic game. The battle system's fun. The music is phenomenal. Definitely get the limited edition so you can get that soundtrack. The graphics, if you've played Ys Ark of Nepishtim or Oath and Felghana, you know what to expect with the graphics in this. Traditional sort of Falcom, fun. But definitely take a look into this game. I don't think the sales were quite what Xseed thought they were going to be. But if you do not have this in your collection, you are missing out on one of the great gems of this generation. It is definitely one of the best RPGs ever made, and I really hope Xseed gets to continue the series. If not, I'm going to have to import the Japanese versions and just try to muddle through the story, which kind of sucks because these are very story heavy. So if you like your stories in your video games, look no further than this. Definitely try to get a hold of this, guys. Definitely get a hold of that. So that was number 4. Now we're getting into the top 3, which the top 3 is going to be a little controversial. I understand that. I'm probably going to get flamed a little bit, but I sat and I thought about the top 3 and reorganized it, and the more I reorganized it and looked at it, the way I originally had it, my gut feeling when I first started it, it really felt correct to me. So, number 3, here we go. Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. What? Why isn't this, higher? What are you doing, Dustin? What are you talking about? Skyrim is like the game of the year. No question. Game of the year material. I agree with you. This is very, 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 very good game. It is the best refinement of the Bethesda Elder Scrolls Fallout engine, and it really makes me excited to see what the next Fallout's going to be like, actually. But, the graphics are phenomenal. They hiccup every now and then, but you're going to get that in these big games. The storyline so far is really interesting. Skyrim itself is a lot more, varied and convincing than Cyrodiil ever was. Cyrodiil was kind of boring after a while, you know what I mean? But Skyrim, there's so much different stuff to see. You think it'd all be covered in snow, but there's tundra, there's normal woods and everything. It's definitely, the best Elder Scrolls game yet. And the first Elder Scrolls game that I feel like I can completely use magic in and not be missing out on anything. I can't tell you how the sword combat is in this game, because I made a mage, I play a mage, and I only pull a sword out if I'm out of magic and I have to quickly dispatch somebody. So I really haven't gone into melee at all with this game. But, I know you guys are going to be like, why isn't this higher? But, when I talk about the next couple games, you'll see why. Because there's a reason why this is 3, and there's a reason why the number 2 game is number 2. And we'll get to that here in a second. So, number 3, with a bullet, is Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. I haven't run into any of the game crashing glitches with this yet, but I'm right at the precipice of where these things are supposed to start happening. So if that does, I'll just take a break from it like I usually do with these games, and come back to it after Bethesda gets it all patched up and, you know, playable again. So, number 2, once again, this is probably going to be like, you know, people are going to be like, I don't understand what's going on here. Number 2, Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Now, while Link to the Past is always going to be my favorite Zelda, I have no qualms sitting here in front of you guys saying that this is the best Zelda game made yet. Does it hold your hand a little bit? Yeah. Is Fee a little bit annoying? Yeah. But in terms of graphics, music, gameplay, especially with the motion controls, this is the first Wii game that has made me a believer of motion controls. And the storyline, which I haven't finished yet. I'm at the last dungeon. I plan on beating it tonight, but it's getting late and I'm tired, so I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna beat it here probably in the next couple of days. But the storyline is one of the best Zelda storylines yet. It really kind of gets into the characters a little bit more than than previously. Although Fee, I still think Fee is kind of useless, especially after Midna. You know, the big thing with these new Zelda games is that you have a companion with you, and after Midna, you know, Fee's just kind of there, I guess. But still, fantastic Zelda game. And if you do not own a Wii, I would tell you that this is a reason to go out and buy one. You know, the Wiis are pretty cheap right now, and this game, I mean, it just came out, so you're not going to get this game for cheap for a while, but go out and get a Wii, get this, you know, spend some time learning the controls, give it a fair shot, because this is really one of the best Zelda games ever made, and it is the best Wii game out there. Not one of the best, the best Wii game. So, you know, we'll see how I feel if it's still the best Wii game after, you know, a certain game gets released in 2012 that I keep talking about and I can't go a video without mentioning. But, you know, definitely check this out, guys. As a longtime Zelda lover, this is a love letter to the fans. Excellent game. So, like I said, controversial because two of the biggest releases of the year are already behind us. And I've already said, like, I didn't get Arkham City, I didn't get Uncharted, and I didn't say this earlier, but I don't play Call of Duty. If I want to join the Army, I'd go join the Army. So, you know, what does that leave us with? And, you know, I don't know how many of you guys went out there and got this, but my number one game for the year is, if I get the volume to work, there we go, is To the Moon by Freebird Games. And I have to show this to you because it's a download-only game. And I want the music to play a little bit because the music is really excellent in this game. So, okay. Now you're sitting there slack-jawed and a little, you know, oh, there we go, I can't get the thing turned down. You're sitting there slack-jawed and just kind of mesmerized by the fact that Dustin, you know, you picked two of the biggest games of the year to be your second and third game. How can you take a little independent game that was released just over the internet and put it above these, you know, mastodons of gaming, you know what I mean? And I'll sit here and I'll tell you point blank, straight to your face, let's zero in here a little bit. The reason why I picked To the Moon for my number one game is that I have never had a gaming experience like this in my life. You know, a lot of us play games to sort of escape our normal everyday lives, right? You know, we always want to go and we want to slay dragons or we want to save a princess. And it's a means of escape for us. I know that's the reason why I play RPGs and I don't play like Call of Duty or or sports games. If I want to go out and play basketball, I'll go outside and play basketball, you know. But this is the first game, you know, and I've looked through all my games. This is the first game that made me take stock of my life and realize, you know, sort of what's important, because instead of fighting dragons and saving princesses, you're journeying through one man's life and seeing sort of the weight of choice. You know, the weight of choice and how those choices sometimes cause us to give up on our bigger dreams. And, you know, how, you know, when we look back on things, would we have really changed things? You know, would you have changed a choice that you made that enriched your life one way in order for you to have a dream that you had as a child, you know? And I'm getting dangerously close here to talking about the storyline, and I don't want to do that because if you guys, you know, I've done a video already on To the Moon where I've really discussed sort of the gameplay aspects and kind of discussed it in detail except for the storyline. And if any of this is sounding interesting to you, I'm just telling you, go to Freebird's website. I'm not going to put in the description because I want to keep this kind of spoiler free as to what my top game is. But just go to Google, type in Freebird Games, or type in To the Moon, and it should get you there. But they have a free trial on there that you can try it before you have to buy it. It's only $12, and it's about 5 hours of gameplay. So, I mean, you know, it's a little steep, but I really think that if you give it a try, I really think that you can find something in it that relates to your own life, because that's what it's really about. It's about life. It's about human interaction and, you know, what's really important in life. And I swear to God, if you guys play it and you get to the end of it and you watch that last scene before the credits, if you don't feel something in your heart, you may as well kill yourself because you're already dead, because that is one of the most ridiculous scenes. And even just sitting here, I'm kind of like just in awe of it, because, you know, it wasn't a game that had the full force of Nintendo behind it. I mean, this was just a small group of people, you know, dedicated to this, and they put it out and they made it, and everything about it is phenomenal. The 16-bit graphics are amazing looking. The music, you know, I'm going to buy the soundtrack here when I remember to do it. I'll probably do it as soon as I get done making this video. And the storyline is just, I mean, just really good. I mean, that's all I have to say. It's just, it's extremely touching. It makes you think of your own life. So when I weigh all of that stuff, you know, and I talked about it in my original video, how the gameplay is a little bit not so much with the puzzles and everything. But, you know, when I weigh all of this sort of revelation with this game against, you know, other games, there's really no choice but to put this as my number one, because, you know, as much as I love, you know, Zelda or Skyrim or even, you know, Trails in the Sky, I feel like I've played either all of these games before in terms of Zelda and Elder Scrolls, or I've played variations on them. And with To the Moon, I really got something new and unexpected, and if that's not Game of the Year material, then I don't know what is. So, To the Moon by Freebird Games, my number one game of 2011. If you haven't already checked it out, I implore you to check it out, because it's just, I mean, it's just that good. I mean, it's more of a visual novel type thing than a traditional RPG, but give it a shot, guys. It's a fantastic story. So that's 2011. I haven't heard a lot of things about 2012, what's coming out. I do know that for a fact we're getting Xenoblade, so that's probably going to be, you know, a major contender for my game of 2012. But other than that, I'm really looking forward to the Vita. I recently saw, I think it was in PlayStation Magazine, I just picked one up and it had a thing in it about Vita RPGs, and they're bringing a Tales of Innocence R onto it. Now, this is Japanese only. They haven't announced it for the States yet, but they're also bringing out Zero no Kiseki, which is part of the Trails in the Sky series. It's actually okay, there's first chapter, and there's second chapter, third chapter. I think Zero no Kiseki comes the fourth in the series. I don't really know that for a fact because I don't have it all in front of me right now. But I'm definitely looking forward to that if it comes out here. They're making a remake of Final Fantasy X. you know, I know a lot of you guys out there really love Final Fantasy X, so if it comes out for the Vita, you know, definitely look into that because it's going to have HD graphics and everything on that screen. But for me, probably not. I've already played 10, and it's not one of my favorites, but it certainly wasn't one of my least favorites. But other than that, oh no! Pause. Ys. Yes, we're finally getting an English version of an official English version of Ys 4, and it's going to be called The Trees of. I can't remember the name, but Ys 4. I don't know if it's going to follow the Mask of the Sun story or the Dawn of Ys story, or if it's going to try to mix them somehow, or it's going to be a whole new story, because Falcom actually didn't make Ys 4. They were, you know, sourced out to other companies. But other than that, Metal Gear Rising maybe, BioShock Infinite. Oh, that's coming out, 2012 too. I'll definitely have to get that, BioShock Infinite. I do like the BioShock universe and sort of how they, you know, weave their moralistic tales in there. But other than that, maybe the last story if we get it. But if you see me looking off here, I'm looking off at my, you know, current gen games, trying to figure out if there's anything I'm missing. Silent Hill Downpour, although I haven't played. I have a couple Silent Hill games I haven't played yet, so I need to get through that. But yeah, so far I'm hoping 2012 they'll announce a bunch of new stuff for it. We have the Wii U towards the end of the year, but since it's so vague right now, I'm not even worried about the Wii U. Hopefully, the 3DS will get its new version, because you know now they're bringing out that second control stick. They're going to do an update, so that's probably when I'll buy a 3DS, is when they finally do the update. So anyway, guys, as far as I know, yeah, I think that's it. Final Fantasy 13-2, I'll probably buy it, but I'm still debating on whether I want to buy it on launch or not, because I wasn't a big fan of 13, but I want to see if they do improve it with 13-2, because they keep talking about how we're listening to the fans and we're going to make it better. So I'll probably buy it, but I don't know if I'll buy it on day one. But that is my top 5 games of 2011, and sort of a look forward to 2012, what's coming out. You know, definitely leave me your list down in the comments. Make a video response if you want, talking about your favorite games of the year. You know, let me know when I'm missing out on Arkham City and Uncharted, so I'll go out and buy them quicker. And you know, I think let me see, what do I have planned next? I do want to do, because I watched one of my subscribers' videos, and I subscribe to him also, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head. It's like TGA, and then I can't pronounce the rest of it. TGA Apolis or something like that. I'm sorry. I'm butchering your name, and if you want to yell at me, put it in the comments. Put it all in caps so I know you're yelling at me. But in one of his videos, I saw Babylon 5 Season 1, so I'm kind of thinking I want to talk about Babylon 5, because I haven't thought about Babylon 5 in a while here, so I'm kind of excited about that. So I might do a TV series discussion, which I want to do one for 6 Feet Under anyway, but I'm really excited about talking about Babylon 5 now, so I don't know. I might do that here in a little bit. I'm planning on doing a Skyward Sword post-mortem as soon as I finish it. Talk about a few other things that I kind of almost talked about in this one, so I'll have to watch this one back and see if I've covered everything I want to cover. And then, of course, I'm going to have a pickups video here towards the end of December. I got my pile over there staring at me, waiting for me to film it. But other than that, I think I'm done talking for once. So, I forgot. Here recently, Ball and Nick did a video response to my Zelda series overview, and I just wanted to thank him for that, because my channel has blown up. I went from 37 subscribers to 70 subscribers in a day and a half. So Ball and Nick, thank you so much for your kind words, and for telling people to subscribe to me, because they listen to you. So obviously you have some power over people. It got me thinking, because when I first started this channel, I was trying to thank everyone personally for subscribing to my channel and watching my videos and writing to me and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like, you know, since things have kind of gotten a little crazy here, especially recently, and then with YouTube not telling me when someone new subscribes, I feel very remiss in, you know, not thanking you guys for subscribing and watching my videos. So I do really appreciate it, guys. You have no idea, because I only started this little adventure 3 months ago, and it's been fun, and I've met some really great people on here. And for all you new people that have just subscribed to me, I really do want to hear your opinions, and, you know, I want to hear what you guys think, and want to get to know you guys. So, you know, definitely leave me comments. You know, just, you know, talk to me, because, you know, this is a fun little adventure I'm having on this channel. So definitely thanks to Ball and Nick for getting the word out on me. Thanks for everyone for subscribing. You have no idea how much it means to me to know there's actually people out there who like to listen to me ramble on like I'm doing right now. So if I haven't thanked you already, or if I haven't, you know, said anything to you, just know that it's because I'm ridiculously busy with work and life and trying to play some games and trying to make some videos, and I really would like to thank you all personally. So that's what I'm hoping to do right here. Any future viewers of this video, when you guys subscribe or think about subscribing, you know, this thank you goes to you as well. So, you know, I'll make a new video as soon as I get inspired to do one. And until then, you guys take it easy, take care, and have a happy holidays, whatever you choose to celebrate, or if you choose to celebrate anything at all. Have a good winter. Stay safe out there, guys. All right, see you next time.